Ladies and, judging by my analytics, statistically far more probably gentlemen, hello! How are we all doing? I am going faceless today because I am very, very twitchy with my Tourette's and I cannot be bothered to edit it out, so unfortunately you will have to go another day without seeing my pretty little eyes. So today we are looking at this variation of the Caro-Kann, and this is a variation that you don't see very often. So Caro-Kann, we have the E4, C6, D4, D5 there. We should all know the Caro. If you don't, by all means check out my many videos on the Caro-Kann. Now, normally you will see the advanced variation, the exchange variation, this variation here where the horsey comes out and we offer up that exchange there, which probably has a name, which I have forgotten, but today we are looking at the bishop coming across to the D3, and this is a variation which I've had quite a lot of success with recently. So let's get into it. We'll start with the most common move by far, which is the pawn going ahead and taking. Well, clearly we are going to take it back. Horsey comes out attacking our bishop, and we can slide it back if we want, but I'm going to recommend getting out your horsey and just offering up that exchange like so. Now their bishop will come out attacking you, and now we do have to drop back, once again attacking their bishop, forcing their bishop back to the G6. And from here we can just carry on developing, get out your other horsey there. Now, most common move once again for black is the pawn coming out to the E6. Now, really, they should probably just be developing out this horsey, something like that, but makes sense what they're trying to do, you know, just try and free open this bishop, make a little bit of room for getting castled off there. And from here, this is where things start getting a little bit spicy. So we push forwards the H4, and you can see what our plan is. We're trying to push this forward and to try and trap this bishop if we can. Now, most common move, once again by far, is pawn coming down to the H5, and let's just slow motion rewind. Keep an eye on that analysis bar. Wank. Oh, and this is not a great move for black. Now, our horsey can just jump up to here, threatening the bishop, and, I mean, the bishop could drop back, but that is an absolutely terrible move. However, it is the most common move by far, and at this point, 79% of players for white are going to win this, because the queen can come across, go ahead and take that, and if you see something like the pawn coming down, we can just drop back. You can see we are threatening mate there, so the pawn has to drop back, but then we can jump up our other horsey here, and while it looks a bit of a strange move, let's just say he goes ahead and captures like so. Well, we can go ahead and it is game over from this point for black there. Alternatively, let's just say he goes this way, then we pop him in check, he's forced to jump out of the way, and look, as soon as this hops out, we have the discovered check, and once again, it is just game over. We can capture that, and like I say, it's just absolutely fantastic for white there. But let's just swing it back a little bit. Let's just say instead of the bishop dropping back, he comes out with his dark square bishop just to try and attack us a little bit. Well, we can quite happily go ahead, take his other light square bishop there. He takes back, and look at this position. It is so favourable for white here. Black's king side is just, we have the doubled pawns there, it's very, very exposed. The queen side also very exposed, and this pawn is a huge target. So we can bring out our queen, just directly threatening that pawn there. He gets castled off to safety. Now we can go ahead and take it, there's no rush to, and we do have to be a little bit careful, you know, with the queen in front of the king. If we take that, you know, at some point he's going to come across threatening us, so we will be having to jump out the way. So just leave it for now. We've made this outpost here, so let's start swinging ourselves around for it. So the bishop drops back after we threaten it, and then we hop into that outpost there. And yes, we are giving up this pawn here, but do not worry your pretty little heads about it, because we can jump up, we can capture that pawn, pop him in check, he slides out of the way there. Now we do have to be aware of this inevitable pin, so the bishop coming up, attacking the queen, blocks that pin, but also it looks like we're giving up this and him threatening to take this. Once again, do not worry yourselves about it, because once we go ahead and we capture this pawn, This is completely inevitable. There is pretty much nothing he can do to stop it, especially if he goes and takes the bait. So he takes it, we jump out the way. If he takes that, then obviously just mate, and we can play it out, but again, it is inevitable. So he comes down and takes. This is a mate in 7, so don't worry yourself about it. We move out of the way. We then go ahead, take the queen, move out the way. King tries to move out the way, but oh no boy, where do you think you're going? Get back in your lane. The rook tries to block it, but we can obviously just go ahead and take. He drops back, and then boom, it is checkmate. Happy days. Now, this is 24 moves, but 7 moves of that was that inevitable mate in 7. So that is one of the variations. Let's swing it back a little bit and have a little look at another. Alright, similar position but slight variation. We'll start from the start just to really hammer it home. So we have the Caro-Kann, bishop comes out, exchange off like so, horsey comes down, so we offer up the exchange once again. Bishop comes back, so we drop down and we threaten it, he drops back, horsey comes out, opens up the bishop with the e6, and then we go for the h4. But this time, let's just say he just goes for this, the h6. Now, when we come up and he drops back the bishop, you can see it's not quite as devastating for him. But we can come across with our queen like so, threatening this mate in 1. Let's just say he comes out with something like the queen there. Well, we can come across with our bishop threatening him. And it looks like you can just go ahead and take, but after this, where's the queen gonna go? Well, let's just say he comes down to here, to the f4. We can just start chasing this queen around all over. We take that, he takes that, we take back, and look, we are in a much, much better position here. It's a 1.5 advantage for us. But let's just say instead, whoopsie daisy, after this, he drops back to something like here. Well, we push forward the pawn, and then from here, I mean, what's he going to do? Let's just say he takes back like that, then ruh-oh, it is absolutely devastating for black. If he comes down like so, we can just block it, he can take that. Yes, he's threatening the rook, but there's no rush to go and castle off just yet. We jump up, take that, get the discovered check. Let's just say the king comes across to here. Now we can get castled off, and if he was to take that, we're just going to take that. You know, he's just going to start absolutely crumpling here. It's just, it is absolutely devastating for black, and 6.1 advantage there for white. You are going to win. Now, it doesn't mean that it is going to play out like this, but these are all taken from by far the most common moves on the Lee chess database. So more often than not, these are the kinds of positions you're going to be seeing. But let's have a little look at something a little bit different. Right, so let's just play it out once again. We have the Caro-Kann, and then we have the bishop which comes out. And this is a less common move, but it's still the second most popular move with 10% of players doing it. And that is the horsey coming out. And you can already see analysis bar jump massively up in our favour, because clearly we are going to push forward the pawn here, and things are just so uncomfortable. Now, most common move, 50% of players decided to, this is 30,000 people, decided to hop back the horsey to here, but we can just push forwards the pawn, and from here they go ahead and take, and this is 97% of players are going to win. This is a mate in 3. Queen can quite happily just come across to here. He then goes ahead with this, and really, I mean, you capture any way you want. Let's do it with the queen, because it's a lot sexier doing it this way, isn't it? Takes back, and then boom, it is game over. This is 8 moves in and a checkmate for you, my friend. You are very, very welcome. Alright, let's just swing it back a little bit here. Let's just say instead of going to there, he goes for this. Well, that is just a free horsey for us, because once we push forward that f3, where's horsey going to go? Every single square that he can go to is occupied by our forces. There is nothing he can do about it. Womp, womp. Really, the best move for him here is to just drop back to where he was, and now all of his forces are still on the back rank, and we are developed control in the center. It is just, we're just going to win. We're at a 1.5 advantage, and we've barely done anything. We're 4 moves in. So, yeah, very, very fun line. I do recommend it. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. It's just a very, very quick one. I have work in like an hour. So, you dudes go off, have some fun, play some chess, and I will catch you all later.